Good day. So, this is an unedited version of this book, right? Yes, this is an unedited version of this book, and I want to join you to watch me do some basic formatting on it. And this is the beginner's knowledge. Once you get it, you can always tweak things and as well do your thing in any way you would want to. All right. So, looking at this page now, how did I arrive here? Very simple. On your laptop, you go to your files. This is my file, and you should remember where you saved the document at. This is where I saved it on downloads. So most of my documents are actually in the mindset is everything, but this one is here for easy location and for some confidential information that are there. So we click on it again. This is a new one. It has opened us up to this. Now when you open, sometimes you're going to see enable editing, so you just click on that. But if you see it this way, it means that it's already enabled, so you quickly just proceed. Before we go over to formatting, because this is formatting document, not editing, I'm going to put you through on the editing part. Let me share with you some of the meaning of these words. So here, file is a menu. So once you click on it, it pops out, right? You're going to see home, new. New is when you want to create a new document. The next one is open, when you want to open. That is the folder where you find other documents. This is info, if you want to find an info about a certain document or information. This is save, you want to save it directly as the name it is. The name it came with, you just save here. If you want to save it as, that is where you begin to decide where it will be saved at and the name it will be saved as. So let's click it so you'll see. You see, it's asking me, should you save it? This is PC. So if I want to save it at my downloads, I'll click here. If I want to save it at mindset, I'll click here. If I want to save it at document, I'll click here. Then the other folders I have in my laptop continues to pop up until if I scroll down, I'll keep seeing the rest until I decide. However, this one, I want to save it at download. That is location where I want to save it. The reason of choosing location is so that you know where to look for it when you're looking for it. Now, I want to save it as When Grief Becomes a Teacher by Dr. John Mukoro. That's the author's name. Now, do you want to save it as document, or if you want to save it as other version? See, there are varieties of version you can save it. You see, but I want to save it as PDF, and you click PDF. If you go down, you're going to see other documents, plain text, Word, XML. You can, if you want to know further meanings on that, I won't want to bore you with that, so you can just go ahead and look it up and know the differences. So here you see, if I just click save now, it automatically saves it, but there is already an edited version of this book existing, so I will not want to save it. So once you click save, it saves it and bring you back to the document. Then you decide whether you want to save the changes. Okay, let's even save it. We can always delete it later. So here you go, it's already saved. You see, it's already saved. It's trying to save to that location. That's why it's loading. I can't click on anything at this time. So that is for file. This is more. If you want to print, you click on more. If you want to share with someone, you click on this more. If you want to export it, click on more. If you want to close it, this account bar feedback option, it's when you are logged in online. Like this document is this MS Word, you are subscribed, because my own is just the one we did corner to gain. More like we are not charged, we are not paying monthly subscription for this, but originally you're supposed to pay monthly subscription for this. I believe you understand how this menu here works. And if there is a folder or a document you want to pin, for me is this mindset is everything. If you remember in the beginning, I said most of the documents I've worked on is in this mindset and everything, so I just pinned it so that it becomes easier for me to save my documents and jobs. So now here is the interface of what your MS Word would look like. If it's not like this, just go over here and click on this line, yeah, and if it is there and you want to close it up, you can also click on that line. So I'm opening it again. Now when you open it again and you want it to remain like this, just pin it, right? So there's only shortcut for everything on MS Word. If you want to, you can learn it online and find out those shortcuts. Like it's just like pressing F1 and something, and then you just arrive at whatever you want instead of doing it manually. Now another option here is home, which is where we are. This is home. All the interface you are seeing: design, insert, design, layouts, reference, mailing, review, view, and help. So that is home, right? I said if you want to remove it, you don't want to see it, maybe you want to look at your document properly, you can just click here and close it up. Trust me, when you start, you look like you are missing your way and it's difficult and you can't find your way. But when you start practicing on your own, you will learn so much more than I've even taught you, right? Now, what is this paste here? If you want to paste something, you can use here, or you can just use right clicking. I believe for someone who has a laptop and been using it, you should know this. You just right click and then you paste. Yeah, and when you want to paste it, to ask you to paste with the format it had, paste that plain text and all of that. So you choose the format you want it to paste as. So this one is for brushing. You know, if you want to paint something, just like an highlighter, you want to highlight something in the book. So this is your clipboard. Everything I have copied on this MS Word, on this particular document, if you want to see it, you see it here, but I have not copied anything on this document, so it is not here, right? So coming to this is the format, this is the font that the book came in. So the book came in Time New Romance. It came in Time New Romance, and it is also Time New Romance, and the font size, that is the letter size, is also 16. So that is what is showing me here. If you want to change it, you want to increase it, you want to reduce it, you can always click here. But before you do that, you click Ctrl A to highlight all the documents on this file, right? Now this is a bold. If you want to make a word bold, let's even go there. So if I click on this word that is bold, you see this bold came pop up, but this one is not bold, so immediately I left it. Immediately I left here, I came here, it came back bold, but this word is just plain and it's not bold, so the bold is not highlighted anymore. This one is italicized, maybe a quote, a Bible quotation. You just highlight the word and then click on either bold, italicize, underline, anything you want to do. And there are also options how you want to underline them. If the underlining is like this, you want it anywhere at all, there is even more here when you scroll down, but I don't want to do all of those, so I am unchecking it, so it automatically comes back to normal text. So this is also when you want to cancel. You probably have seen title of a book where one word is cancelled, a statement is cancelled. This is what you use right here. So if I highlight it now, you notice that title page, table of content, and copyright page is highlighted, is cancelled, is ruled out. But if I uncheck it now, it's gone. Now what is this for? Obviously subscript. When you want, let's even highlight it so you see what it is used for. So subscript. So if I want this word to become subscript, is just like the way we write in mathematics, the words just like in sword, in logics, not logic, what's it called, log. So those words you write below, right? This is how it looks like. So coming to this now, here is about superscripts. That is raised power, how you write raised power. In case you are working with textbooks, I have worked on textbooks, academic books and all of that, so you don't get lost. Where should I find this? Oh, it's not on my laptop and whatnot. Now coming to this A, don't worry, we'll still come to all this reference, but we are still on home. So let's talk about the formattings and the guides, the functions of the things on the home. So going up here, you see, if you want to increase the size of this letter, just click here. It automatically keeps increasing to any size you want it, but I don't want that, so I'll click Ctrl Z to undo until it go. I'll keep clicking on Ctrl Z until it goes back to that. Now if you want to decrease it, or you don't want to click Ctrl Z, you can just click here and all of that, so it goes back to a certain size, right? But I don't want to do that. Now if you notice, the T in title is capitalized, the P in page is also capitalized. How did that happen? In case it's not that way and you want to do it, here is how to do it. You just click on this A that has capital A and small a. You see it, you say change casing. So you want to change the alignment of your words. If you read it, if you just click on it, you're going to see options. You change the selected word to uppercase, lowercase, or other common capitalizations. So case means capitalization. Now sentence case, let's click on it so you see how it's aligned. Sentence case is just like the first word on the sentence until you put a full stop is only letter that will be capitalized. That is sentence. Just like when you make a sentence, it's only the word on the first letter on the line that will be capitalized. Now lowercase, it means you want all the letters you highlighted to be in small letter. Now uppercase, you want all the letters you highlight to be capitalized. Same goes to capitalize each word. We call this title case. Yeah. So when you click on it, it will give you the initial one we have, where every word, every first letter of every word is capitalized. You see. So that said, you've seen the function of this. That's the case function. Coming down to this, this is the, if you want to clear all the formats, let's say I don't want anything on this particular book the way it came in. I don't want it. I want to start everything afresh. The way this word is capitalized and the one is italicized, you see, I don't want it. I want to change everything. So you just click Control A and every word in it capitalizes, and then you click here and clear all formatting. Do you see? Do you see this first word now? It has come to small letter. It comes to default, which most documents in MS Word comes in default of 11 font size, right? But I don't want to do that. I'll click Ctrl Z. That's Ctrl Z means undo. And if you forget the controls, just go up here and undo, right? You see undo. If you want to redo what you undid, you just click here. That is the function of this particular undo up here. I believe you can see where my cursor is. The arrow pointing left is undo. You can see it is even written there when you highlight it. The arrow pointing right is redo, and you can also see the shortcut, which is Control Y, right? So you are seeing anything, all the things I have undid is here, right? If for instance I want to go back and undo everything I have done regarding this word title page, I'll just highlight everything and then and then say undo 18. If I just click it, it goes back to whatever it is. And then same goes to redo. So redo doesn't, I didn't do a lot of redos, so there is no much things to redo here. So that said, I believe you understand what this particular function exist for. Now let's move over to the ones, this one is just your font style, right? Alignment of your fonts. How do you want to do it? So take for instance, now you want letter T to be highlighted, so just click here and then make it bold, right? But I don't want to do that, so Ctrl Z. Now coming here is for highlighting. Take for instance, I want to highlight this word. I don't know whether you've read any book, you've come across any book and you're seeing some words highlighted, like they're highlighted like you read it in real life, like it's a real copy of a book that was highlighted. This is how it is done. So if I want to highlight this word, you see it's highlighted. I can always change to my preferred color and all of that. I think we also learned this during the time you learned about Google Docs. So you can always change the color, but I don't want to do that, so I will undo it. So let's take for instance, this word is in gray. You know it's black right now, and it's in gray, and you want to change it to black. Okay, let's even make it gray. You see, gray is not even visible. Okay, let's just say it is in blue. I want to change it to black. So you just quickly click on this A that has color below. It can always come with black, which is the automatic color for MS Word. So you just click on it, this one here, this one, and then change it font color and then change it to black. Now let's go over to the next one. The next one is bulletin. You've seen this particular document, you've seen this chapter table of contents, that it has bulletin, more like there are bullets specifying the numbering. So chapter 8, you see emotional intensity and special dates, right? You see. But if I want to change this bulletin, right, I will just click on this bulletin here. You see bullets and choose. If you want it to have these dots, fine. If you want to have blocks, that's square, fine. If you want it to have this and this, okay, let's do this. So you see it changes. Did you see it changes? Because I highlighted. If I want to highlight all of them, and then I'll just have to highlight all of them and change it. But if you want to change it one after the other, you have to keep clicking and then going back here. Okay, I think I removed it. Keep clicking. If you click here, you click. You see it changes to block. If you look closely, you see that it changes to block instead of dots, right? But if you want to remove the bulletin, you don't want to number it, you don't want it at all, just click here. Now if you click it for one line, it will keep undoing for one line. But if you want it to undo it, remove bulletin for all of these it is the same on Google Doc, to just highlight the words you want to remove from bulletin, and then there you go. Do you see? It's gone. It's gone. So that is how it's done. And then bulletin is not just with signs, right? It also can come with numbering. Do you see numbering options? You can use this, you can use this, you can use this. So it's still about your choice. So let's just do something like this. Did you see? Remember, we removed bulletin on this. Did you see? Now has A, B, C, D and all of that. So that is, you can do this mainly. Bulletin is mainly for the, I'm undoing it right now to go back to default. So bulletin is mainly for the main body of the document, but for brevity of time we are using the table of contents so that you can easily understand. We are still going to go into the work. It's just about letting you understand what this are for, so that when I'm clicking it and calling it by names, you will not be confused what I'm doing and why I am doing that. Now the next one is multi-leveling. Yeah, your bulletin, if you want it to have multi-leveling, like the way you do in your exam, number 1A, 1AI, you know, this is how they do it. So when they are done putting down their questions, they just highlight the words and then include this alignment for them. So it automatically takes this or this or this or this, depending on what you're working on, right? So that is that for that one. Now coming to this is alignment of the page. If you want you want to realign anything, let's go to the main chapter so that you get this one properly. So this is about the author. Let's say you want to realign this, you have to highlight. You're not, if you want to make the changes on all the document, that is when you use Control A, or you just highlight and scroll down. You just hold your right click and then hold down. See, I have right clicked and then I'm scrolling down with my mouse, and that's why it's moving down. But I just want to do it on this about the author. That's the only place I want to do. So I've scrolled down to the last line of the about the author. So I will remove the right clicking and go over here. If you notice, is on justify. Control J if you want to do it. Justify. It's not in the middle, it's not in the side, it's not in the center, it's just neutral, in a neutral space. It's not in the middle, it's not at the left, it's not at the right. It's just taking up the perfect space in the book. Now, depending on what you are working on, for poems, it better goes with something like this, or that is the left alignment. Did you see what happened to the document? Did you see the changes? Is it now left alignment? Let's use center alignment. That's Control E. Do you see how we moved to the center? Let's use right alignment. If you click it, it goes to the right. Do you see it? And if you want to click justify, you just justify it for me. This is a perfect alignment for a book. If you notice, all this has shortcuts, and once you click on it, you're going to see shortcuts, and with time you even learn it. You will not need to. I'm not using it because I am teaching you, right? I already know that left alignment is Control L, center alignment is Control E, and right alignment is Control R, and then justify is Control G. So, but I'm not using it. However, when you click on it, you will know. So that is that for alignment. Now coming to this part, line page spacing. This is 1.5. Now, do you see what is happening when I move to 2.0? See 2.5. Do you see that about the author, how it's moving? Good. That is how it moves. Then see one line spacing. That's paragraphing. How can it be spaced? So, but it's originally in 1.1, so we will keep it at that. You can always change it depending on what you're working on, right? Now this is shading. I hardly use this. Yeah, you want to shade something, let's do a practical part of it. I will not be using most of this, but it's just so that you know. Did you see? This is different from highlighting. That is the one we did here, right? It's different from highlighting, text highlighting. This one is shading, like the way you primary school and nursery school guys do, right? They shade words. You are still seeing it, but the color is predominant, right? That is that for that. So I don't want to leave it that way, so I'm going to undo, Control Z. So coming to this place, it's about rows and column, right? You see, are you seeing what is happening? Are you seeing the line moving at the top? Maybe you want to underline something. You see, border, you want to put the line somewhere, maybe as a quote, You see the function outside, see inside, things of that sort. So you keep moving, you keep changing to the location you want it to be in, and that's that for borders, right? That's that for borders, where you want to put a line. Border is more like a line, a barrier you put in something. It's very rampant in when you are formatting magazines. Preferably, I wouldn't advise you format a magazine with MS Word. You can go to CorelDRAW, of which I am not entirely conversant with right now. So next one is, if you want to sort something, in what order? Is it A to Z, ascending order, descending order? You see, if you want to customize a ribbon and all of that, I hardly use this one too. Now this is next one, paragraphing. This is actually what I will click first when I want to edit, because it shows me how this person spaced. Do you see there's page break here? And if I start editing this book, this page break would affect what I'm doing. It will affect it in the sense that if I put a correction here that I want, let's say this heading, if I want it to be on the other page, it won't. It will change because I have a page break. It doesn't, page break doesn't entirely affect it, but section break affects it, and I'm going to show you how to find it. But we're not doing that right now. It's just for you to know. So you can see the paragraphs. This is what we highlighted. Do you see? Anywhere it is showing you where there's paragraph. Do you see? Do you see? You're seeing it, right? Anywhere it's showing there's an unnecessary space they think you should delete, or if it looks nice to you, you can leave it. For me, I will leave it because this is more like the aesthetical part of the book. Yeah, so I'm on highlighting it. You won't see it anymore, right? You won't see all those page breaks and all of that. So that is that for that one. Now coming to this font sizes, it's mainly used for the headings, and you can always adjust it. Take for instance, this is heading and I want to adjust it. The reason also I would advise you do it instead of instead of just coming here to change this to maybe 20, 22, 23, 24, is because when you want to build your table of content, it is going to come handy. You won't have to do your table of content by clicking on referencing. Yeah, it's automatically, and then going over there will do that, and you're going to see it. So that is that for that one. This is quite lengthy, but I believe if you take your time to watch it, you'll be able to know. So let's quickly change. This is heading 1, which is forward, heading 1. So we want to modify it. Now if you click on it, how did I get this modification? Is just if you just put your mouse here, you click on, you right click, so, and then modify, the word modify, and then you are here. Now this is where you adjust. I want to change. I don't like Arial. I think it's a default. It's Caribe is MS Word default size, font size, but I don't want it. So I will quickly change it to, I like Century School book. If you go down, you see a lot. You can even download more fonts. You can do more fonts, right? But right now I want to use my Century School book. I like it. It may differ for you. When you start, you can always find many of them, and I also use tiny numerals. These are my mostly used fonts for the projects I've worked on. So I want to make that headings have Century School book. I want to change the font size to 24. Now if you notice, is now at the left alignment. See, it's now on left alignment, but I want it to be at the center, right? Some people will want it to be justified, just be where other words are. I don't want it to be that way because it's a subheading, it's in the middle. Now if you are looking at this place, you'll be seeing the formatting and everything I've done, how it's looking, right? The size it's looking. So it tells you how the alignment of the main book will look like. Now I want it to have a little space. Do you see what happened? Do you see? If you want it to go further, you can reduce it. If Do you see what is happening? The separation between the word forward, that's the title of the page, and then the letters on it. You see how it's decreasing? But I prefer to use this, except the client actually say, oh, give it more space for me. I'll just leave it on this second alignment. Now remember to put it in bold. Titles are better made bold, right? And then this is line spacing. These two is if you want to go up. The arrow is even making it clear. You want it to go up. Do you see what is happening? You want the title to go up. If you want the title to come down, do you see what is happening? So that is that for this formatting. Then this is for whether you want it at the left, whether you want it at the right. You see it's back. Good. So I am undoing it because those are not what I want, these documents. So now when you are done, come down here, click update automatically. Do you know what this does for you? It goes anywhere the heading is and make it the same with what you've done here. So you don't have to go to chapter 1, do it again, chapter 2, do it again, chapter 3, do it again. Yeah, that is if you have originally made all your chapter headings or page headings to have this, right? So let's see. Do you see? Our forward is now well formatted. Let's check again. Modify. Do you see all the things we did? All the things we did. Once you're done, you just click OK. So now for every chapter heading, remember to beautify it. Put in some effort to make it beautiful. For this one, I want to make it like this instead of it being like this. It's looking somehow, so I had to do it like this. You see how nice looking it is. Now it's doing me like, this thing is not the way I want to. Is it really the formatting I'll highlight? I'll just click here rather and then go back here and check. Does it align? Yes, everything is where it's supposed to be, but I think it's too small. So for a chapter, you can always manually write anything you want to 30. You see, so you mustn't use the default letter there. Now if you notice, this has affected this, and most times I don't like the size on the chapter to be the same size on the chapter wordings. So I always come here and then change the chapter wordings to something like this. You see, it have reduced. These are formattings. Now coming back here, I want to format this and choose a size, alignment and everything for it. So I do it again. You see, it default, it went back to default. So I go back to, I like to use this sometimes, then middle, and then maybe this, and then automatically. Now this will not affect every other okay, I didn't change this font size, so it's still 11. So let's go to 26 since the main title head is 30. Do you see a difference now? Now you have done this, you don't need to redo it again. You just, if you also want to be changing it for the rest, let's say for weddings here, if you have time, I hardly do this one though, because I'm not the major person that does it for our brand. It's very tasking and time consuming, so I always outsource it. I pay someone to do it, but because this person has delayed recording this, I'm doing it because I already know for anything I outsource in our brand, I already know how to do it. So I feel like, oh, the work is coming much, okay, let me start getting a team member who will work. Now if I want to change these subheadings, words in it, I'll just click okay. If I maximize this page, of which I don't want to do, so that when I edit it in phone, because you most likely will be watching the video in your phone, it will not be too large. If I maximize, for instance, now you want this word, these subheadings, these subtitles to also have their setting. So if you see, if I click on the normal heading too, it goes back to normal default, but I want it to actually have a format that is preferable to me. So now I'll go to modify and then come back here. I'll change it to New Time Roman. I changed it to New Time Roman, bold it, and then justified it so that it's not in the middle, it's not in the edge, it's not also in the right or left. It's just where it's supposed to be alongside the text. So remember to turn on your automatically update so that when you see. So for these lessons, we never wanted to learn. So once you click on these lessons you never wanted to learn and click on this heading 2, it gives it the formatting you need. Now when we are editing, you will see the relevance of this. I don't often do this because it takes time, especially if I'm the one, maybe my team members are quite occupied, so I don't often do this. So you see, for this particular one, we also do formatting. We go over here, it is the first one, okay, the heading one, then the body has, you highlight it, do you see? So you can always increase it, you can always reduce it, just do your thing. This neuroscience and physiology brief, we want it to be on heading 2, do you see? So that is how you do it. You do it for all of the pages and chapters until you are done. And that's for home. Now let's go to insert. If you want to insert a table, maybe you want to insert a table here, you can choose the dimension of the table. You see, if you want it to be one table, are you seeing it reflecting on that page? If you want 2 table, 4 table, you see, no matter the number you want. If you want to draw yourself, fine. If it's Excel spreadsheet you want to attach here, that is also doable. So that is what this table option does. So let's go back to cover page. Let's say you want to make yourself a quick, simple cover page, something that just represents a page. So it's editable. You can edit it on MS Word, whichever one you choose from here. That's that for cover page. The next one is blank page. Take for instance, my cursor is already here. Wherever you place your cursor, you are trying to tell the computer that you want to place something there. So I want to place blank page. Did you see? We have a new blank page right now, right? So that is what blank page does. Let's say you want to place a page break. I told you how to see page break. So when you are done, like this person now, they added section break instead of page break, which is not supposed to be so. If you want to close it up, you hold still control and then backspace. Hold together, hold both of them very tightly and at once. That's how you remove section break. So that, because when there is section break, any correction, any adjustment you make wherever there is section break, any correction you made in the previous one, let's say the heading, the header, the footer, or whatever, it will not reflect on anywhere you put. Section break is like a barrier that this section is different from this section, and I'm going to show you also where it is useful. And that is that for page. Okay, now this chapter ends here from at freedom. So you put a page break. It's important you do this when you are done putting your header, footer, and whatnot, because when you put it when you are not done, things like this are bound to happen. So you know that you are doing your final editing of the layout you've designed, right? See, no matter what correction I make here, like here, it will not enter this page except I hold still control and then click backspace at the same time. That's the only way this page break can erase, and then this chapter can go inside here. So any correction I'm making within this chapter 3, it will never go into the last page of chapter 2, even though there is still space there, because I've broken the page, telling the page that you can no longer accept more text, and it's preferable that you even place it below here. And that is that for page break. And then here is for pictures. You want to insert pictures from your device, stock images maybe from online. That is if you are online. Like me, I'm not online, so the auto save is off. I think I mentioned in the beginning that this my MS Word is like I used Backyard to access it. Is not like fully subscribed for. So that is that for that. So these are shapes. Remember, we are still in insert shapes. If you want to insert a shape in your design, maybe tweak it. If you know how to use CorelDRAW, this will really be helpful for you. Insert an icon. This is 3D model. Also, if you are good with CorelDRAW, you make a very excellent use of this. Screenshots. These are the screenshots I made recently, so maybe I want to insert this anywhere, so it's always saved here. That's the recent ones. Smart art. This is graphics visual, where you communicate information. It ranges from graphical list process, and this is also good for you if you know how to use CorelDRAW. I hardly use all of this, but Wikipedia, if you're connected online, you can always find quotes from here. You don't need to go to your Chrome and start browsing and whatnot. You just use your Wikipedia and search immediately, get a quote, get a statement you are looking for, or confirm that a certain thing is actually accurate. This one is if you want to find a video online. Remember, it's also viewable when you are your MS Word is fully subscribed online, that you can go online, more like the Google Doc. You know, Google Doc, you can do things offline, but also they can reflect on your other devices that are logged in with that email when you eventually turn on your data, so it reloads and updates the changes you make. So same goes to this one. If you are online, you can always go. And then this one is when you want to insert a link. Maybe you want to create a link that when people click on it, it gives them access to a page. So whenever you want to do this, you have to click here and then add, this is it, then you add the address. That's the link. When you add the link, it compresses it in a way that it is only tied to text to display. If you wanted to say go to my husband's page, then the husband's page link is here. If you go to my husband's page, at the text to display, and then you put your husband page link here, wherever someone clicks on it, where it is reflecting on the page, when they are reading the book virtually, they are going to access the link. Cross-referencing, this also works. Comments, we did that in Google Doc, where you want to make a comment so that whoever is coming to read document to see where you are saying, oh, I think you should change this sentence, I think this is not accurate, I think this verse is wrong. This is also where you do it with Microsoft Word, and you don't even need to be online. You can do this offline, like here we can do it. See, it's already asking me. This is where my cursor was at the time, so it's asking me what comment do I want to leave for Ogochukwu, which is me, but I don't want to leave any comment, so I've undid it with Control Z. So this is header. If you click on header here, remember we are still in insert, you're going to see varieties of header. If you want the one that is looking this way, the one that is looking that way. I have a favorite, and I'm going to show you which one is my favorite. It's this one. Now let's try it. This is my header. If you notice, it's too close to the top, which is not good for a book that will be printed. It doesn't even look good. So you go to this header from the top and increase it. You see the arc pointing upward, right? You increase it. So what you are telling it is, please increase the space in my header. So I like to leave it at 0.5. You see how it looks. So you see how it's looking. Yeah, so that is that for header. And same goes for footers, right? Then this is text box. If you want to put a text in a box, you see, you're reading a book, you see people insert quotes in the book. This is where what they use to achieve that. This one is when you want to insert objects, embed it on a text, the way people do, you know. You want to add drop cap. I know probably you've ever read a book where the first letter is bold. So if you want to do that, you highlight the word, come here, and then you see, mostly this is what you see, right? So you see it has drop capped it, and it's not affecting any of the word. If you want to adjust it, you can always adjust it. Maybe you want to drag it a little bit out. So you see, M is just there, it didn't clear any word and all of that. So that is what you use for drop cap, right? So that said, let's move over to design. We are done with insert and what it entails. Design is just how you want your title to look. If you want it to, take for instance, this is our title, this is our chapter title. So you want it to be looking like this. Do you see how it's looking? It's looking like that one. The chapter is at the top, and then, you know, so, and if you want to use it, I hardly use it, that's the truth. I hardly do. So you see the alignment, you can always change the text from here, the color, the font, you can as well change it to anything of your choice. Yeah, but I don't want to do that, so it's just to let you know about the functions and what they do. There are so many themes you can use. Yeah, just play around it whenever you intend to. You can get any book and play around it. That's for design. That's mostly what is here. Paragraph shapes. If you want your paragraph, you know, you've read magazines and you see where words are in the middle. If someone's photo is in the middle and words, a statement or a certain story or information is now all over their photo, this is how they do it. It's about the paragraph, how you want to do it, and all of that. You can always explore. So that's what they use this paragraph for. The effect, you see, if there is a photo here, how you want it to show office, you see, smoky, you know, just try your hands around it. So that said, with that said, I will quickly be moving on to layout. So layout is one of the most important parts of this particular thing we are talking about here, because it's actually the first place I go to whenever I pick a book to format its layout. If the guy that does design for us is unavailable, or I feel he has a lot in his hands and I want to get something done quickly, so I come to this layout. This is margin. If you want the book to be like this, which is what I have here, moderate, the words are not at the extreme edge of the pages, they are not too in the middle, they are just moderate. You see the word. If you want it wide where there is too much space at the both edge, fine. If you want it mirrored, this one is what publishers use. We use it a lot because we print book in this format, we mirror it. That's how you now have a book you can close. They are not one like your project in school and another document you print in your office. This is office format. That is A4, the one we print in the office. So we use this particular one mostly, and that is the default. Yeah, now orientation. I know you have seen a book that's not that tall height wise, but it's I don't know what book, children's book, that's a typical example of it. So it looks shorter, it looks like everything went sideways. Instead of actually going from up to down, it's going from side to the other side. So it's landscape. They formatted the book on landscape, right? You see how this book is looking like right now. Remember, I taught you about section break and page break. Do you see how this effect only happened to these 3 pages? Do you know why? There is a section break here, so it's a barrier to this rest of the pages. So that's what happened, right? So I don't want to do that, so I am undoing it. Right, so that is for orientation, but right now the page is on portrait. Yeah, portrait is mainly the best for books, except it's children's book or the client specifically wanted to go in a landscape. So this one is page size. I hardly use this because most of my clients want to do Amazon publication. So this is not entirely accurate with Amazon publication. Most people, when they want their book to be voluminous, they use this, but most book comes in this, and this one is on Amazon. But this is not compelling you to use just this. I'm going to show you how to choose your dimension where you can format it yourself. But before we get there, let's talk about column. Column is like when you see, have you read a book where a book that has a line in the middle? This is it. A book that has 3 lines. This is it. A book that has line at the extreme end of the left. This is how it's done. So you choose the column you want the page to come in. Then this is page break. If you want to do your page break, this is where you come, and maybe you want to insert page break here. Let's even remove this one that is there. Let's remove the section break. So you see the section break here is gone. Let me even show you so that you see it. So you see there's a section break here, but we want to get rid of it. How do you do it? You just click on this dark thing that looks like signpost, right? It's actually showing you a paragraph. I think I mentioned that earlier. So when you click on Control CTRL on your laptop and then hold it alongside delete, that is what you do with page breaks. So if you want to put a page break, you see this, there's even section here. So if you want to put a page break, just look out for the last page of a chapter. It's advisable you do that because what is on the previous page will not jump into the next one. This is line numbering, continuous restart from each page. I hardly use this to hyphenation. If you want automatic hyphenation, you know what hyphenation is, right? So if you want an automatic one, or you just want it, this is when a word runs out of room. Like, let's say, you know, when you are writing those things you did in secondary school, yes, let's say you want to spell Ella Urbans and you've written EL and there's no longer space for you to finish the word on that line, so you have to put hyphen showing that it continued in the next line. So this hyphenation is when you want to do it automatic. If you want it automatically, you put it so that any word that didn't finish on the last line of a page Word would put a hyphen for you so that it continues in the next page. But if you don't want it, you can quickly put none, which is what I use. Then this is for indentation, right? It's more like that initial one where we talked about justification, left indentation, right indentation, and the center one. So this is actually where you want, when you want to adjust it to what you want. Let's say you are using left indentation. So let's do it so you see what is happening. Do you see what is happening on the left side of this page? So if you're increasing it, to keep increasing, but I don't want to do that, right? So I will take it back to what it was. You can always do it for the right, for the left, and any part of the page where you want to adjust. If you want it to affect all the pages, it's advisable that you click Ctrl A so that it's highlights the whole pages, so that any changes you are making, take for instance, you want to do left indentation. Do you see how it's working now? So that it affects all the pages, so it will not be just one page, or it's happening just on the page 20 and whatnot. So that is that. Then this is for line spacing before. So let's see, so that before every word, what line spacing should be reflected there. So do you see, before the next word in a page, how do you want the line spacing? Remember, if any changes you are making, you want it to affect the whole pages, it's advisable that you highlight the whole pages. That way it will reflect on that. These are formatting for images. It's not highlighted because no image is highlighted here. Bring forward, bring backward. If there is an image here, it will likely show. Selection, plane, and alignment. that is still for image, but we do not have image on this particular page, and I think there is no even cover here, so we can't even use it except there is an image here. So coming to reference, I know you have seen a book where people put a table of contents, and the table of content is reflecting exactly the pages, like it's telling you where, let's say, the page at which you can find chapter 1, the page at which you can find chapter 2. It can be done, and that is if you use this when choosing your headers or subheading. If you use heading 1 for your first header, which is this, the one that comes first, heading 2 for your second headers, just like the one in maybe chapter after chapter, the words that come, let me show you. So when you choose it in this manner, okay, let's say this is chapter 1, so if you use header 1 for chapter 1, then header 2 for the topic of chapter 1, then maybe header 3 for the sub part, the sub words, those sub headings inside a chapter, when you use it as header 3. So when you want to create a table of content, you just go over to, so I use Control Home to go back to home, or Control N to go back to end, right? So you go back to whatever page you want to put that table of content and click on references. When you click on references, it's going to show you table of content. Then you choose the dimension. If it happens that you use the 3, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, it's advisable that you use this. Let me see. This is not properly formatted, so I don't know whether it did. So you see, all the heading 1s and the heading 2s in this book is show you the page where you find it, Sometimes it makes it look tacky and enormous when you overdo it. So so you see, we didn't have table of content before now, but it came up because the original, this book is unedited. The author did use the heading 1 and heading 2 and all of that when they were working on the book. Now let's say you made corrections in the book, maybe in chapter 2, chapter 3, so it increased the number of pages you did. So you will be saying, how will I come and correct the numbers where this is where the chapter appeared, because it's now changed. So what you do is just to click here. It brings up this update table, so you click on it and you see update table. So you find out what you want to update. Do you want to update page number only, or you want to update the entire table? Whichever one you want to update. If you want to update the entire table, that means everything will be updated according to what changes you made. But if it's just the if the page number you want to update, it means that it's only the page number, everything will still be the way it is, but the page number will be updated. Mind you, you can always use a different alignment for this table of content. Personally, I like to use this, and I don't used to use heading 3 when I'm formatting, so it makes the table of content bulky. That's for table of content, so I did undo and then it took it out because I don't want it for this page. You can always format it to your choice. Maybe you want to custom it, like to make it to your taste. You want to do it your way, you just want everything to happen your way. You want the line not to be dotted. If you're part of those that did projects, they say they no longer want this line that is straight to be directed to the number. They would prefer a line that is dotted. I think that's what is even in my postgraduate program I did recently. That is the one they chose. So that is it for table of content. The next one is if you want to add text on the level 1, on the level 2, on the level 3. That is it. If you want to update your table, you must not click on that top of the table. You can as well just come to this reference, click on table of content, and just come here and update. It's telling me there's no table to update, so it didn't take. If you want to insert a footnote, if you notice on this book, is it this one? Yes. Do you see a footnote? If you want to insert a footnote, you can use this. If you want to insert endnotes, if you've read the Bible, you're going to see where they referred you, maybe you're reading Revelation and it's showing you that whatever you're reading was also mentioned in Matthew, in Genesis. You see it's tiny, it's written in tiny font, but it's there specifying where you can also find it. That's what is called endnotes. The next one is footnote, and that is it. So if you want to insert citation, you want to add a source, a placeholder, anything. Then if you want to do your referencing, you can, if you did your project yourself or you still remember how you did it, you know that there are different types of referencing. We only know mainly the major one we use in Nigeria is I think APA. So there is MA, MLA. For me, I only know the Chicago APA and MLA. So, but they are enormous, they are numerous. Bibliography, if you want to reference people who featured in this book, you can just click on bibliography and highlight the page where you want it to show up. So far, you italicized that particular quotation, maybe a Bible quotation, a quote from a renowned author, it's going to pick it out and then reference it on the page for bibliography. The next one is insert caption. This is just like inserting a title. Yeah. So insert table of figure. See. So if you want to, maybe you're working on the textbook and all of that. Index. So index is that long thing you see at the back of a textbook, mainly dictionary, sometimes some Bibles, where you see words words that are important regarding the book mentioned. They are arranged in an alphabetical order, and for every page the word appeared, it's going to show you what page it is. That is what happens in the index. If you want to do index here, it's going to require you to do for all the words, then you can always edit. So mark citation and all of that. The mailings, this is almost very, very understandable. You want to start a merge mail. This is what we call right now email marketing, where you want to send one mail to multiple people. So you merge it like this, click on email messages and then add all the people's mail and then email them the document if you want to email it to them from this MS Word. Same to select recipient. Who do you want to send? Who do you want to add to this? To look out to it through Outlook. Outlook is like social media for MS Word. So I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, this is my Outlook. I hardly use it. I don't know why I'm opening it itself. Oh God. Okay, thank God. So I hardly use it. I don't need it right now. So that is for mailing. Review. Review is majorly about grammars and thesaurus, word count. You want to know the word count of this particular book. It is 43,422 words. If you want to know the characters, this means no space. Characters include punctuation marks, and all of that. Everything in the book without spacing. Then with spacing, this is everything summed up. Paragraphs, how many paragraphs are in it? This is just where you get details. That is on review. So thesaurus is more like synonyms. If you want to find loss of words, you've lost words and looking out for words that will match better, you can replace them from here. This is a read out loud. If you want the system to read this document to you, this book to you, it can as well. And that is that. Translation, let's say this came in Chinese language and you want to transfer it to a language you can understand, you can as well do so. This is also language. If you want to, I think this Chinese, yeah, but this one is multiple languages. So that is that. New comments, maybe someone made a new comment or you want to insert, this is where you click and see it instead of just clicking from the other place. Show comments. If you want to see all the comments on this particular document, because why you're not seeing it here is because there is none on this particular one. So that's that for review. The next one is view. So this is preview. Review, this is view. So read mode, when you click read, so that's that for print preview. If you want to read it, if you click on read preview right now, it's going to stop recording. However, it's going to take you in a way that you can only read the document. You'll be seeing an arrow showing you next. Preferably, I will suggest that if you want to learn this, have an MS Word with a document open. It makes it easier for you to be seeing and trying your hands on what I'm saying. Print layout, if you want to print, it's going to show you how it will be looking when you print. Web layout, how it will look on the web. Outline, you see the document outline form where content is shown as bullet, like it's shown like number 1, number 2, or with those dot or those block. So yeah, that's how it works. Immersive reader, this is a switch to editing experience that helps you improve your reading skills, right? Vertical slide, ruler, the grid lines, navigation pan, and all of that. If you want to zoom the page, you can always also click on this last line down here. You can zoom. Like this one, I zoomed it to 62. That is why you are seeing 3 pages on a screen, 3 pages on one face. But if I take it back to 50, 100, or even 90, if I take it back to 100, you see it's on 100, it will be showing me 1 page. If I move it slightly a bit, it's going to be showing me only 1 page. So you'll be seeing only 1 page. It's still the same page that I mentioned. It just so you can always use this to decide how many pages you want to be seeing. If you want to be seeing multiple pages, you can always click on this little arrow down here, or you can use this zoom on this view. It's if you want to 100%, which is usually the default. You want 1 page, you don't want to zoom, you don't want to do anything, you just want to be seeing 1 page. Do you see? It's showing me 1 page, but I hardly like to edit. It's time consuming to work like this. So you can always multiple page. So click on this multiple page. You do that from the view. If you do it 1 page, even if you are using this arrow to navigate, it will not still show you what you want to see. But if you change it to multiple page, you can be seeing it as you changed it on this zoom option down here. So that's that. New window, arrange all, split pages. See, you want to split the page, you can click here. So more preferably, you can remove the splits and try your hands on this. You want to share PowerPoint on this, you can as well do that. And that is that for the tools and how to navigate them. If you have a question, don't forget to ask me. Please, if you ask any questions regarding this tutorial, preferably get me a screenshot. It will go a long way. Thank you. So we are going to do the proper work on our next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, do not hesitate to ask me.